Hi there, it's Martin here from Refurbishment Mastery. In this video, I'm going to explain to you what I think you should be doing to refurbish a commercial unit. Now, as a result of the relaxation of planning conditions, there are a lot of opportunities to convert commercial units and reconfigure commercial units primarily into residential units. In this video, I want to consider the element of the property that is left as a commercial unit. So I'm not going to talk about the element that is converted to residential. I'm going to talk about the element that is left as commercial. Typically, it's the bit that's facing the front of the street. Typically, it might have been a shop or an office in its day, and typically you've converted upstairs into residential. You might have converted the area behind the shop into residential. And so we've got this unit that's left at the front. One of the mistakes I see a lot of property investors making is spending too much money on the refurbishment of that front commercial unit. Genuinely, you don't need to spend much money on that front commercial unit at all. And this is the reason. Those units are taken by commercial clients. Commercial clients, commercial tenants come in all sorts of different shapes and sizes, styles, businesses, branding, and uses. And so as a result, you don't actually know what the use of that building is going to be at an early stage. It's only when you start to market it do you start to get feedback and dialogue with potential tenants. Those tenants could be office use, it could be commercial use for offices, it could be hairdressing salon, barbershops, nail bars, those kinds of shops where the public go in. It could be a hot food takeaway, it could be a newsagents or any other kind of shop. It can be a coffee shop. So what you can see is there's so many different uses that we don't actually know what we need. We also know that different companies require different styling and different branding. We know if we go into a coffee shop of one of the major chains, we know the styling they're going to use. We know that if we go to a single entity person that's trading as a nail bar, that they're going to have their own ideas as to what the styling should be. And it's not going to be anything close or similar to the coffee shop. So when you're refurbishing a commercial unit, all you need to do is get it to a shell. It becomes a basic shell. Now, what's going to be in that basic shell? Well, first of all, it needs to be secure. So that may mean that you need to replace the front shop front or the front door if it's not secure at the moment, or if that's modified as part of your works. If the shop front is largely secure though, don't bother changing it at this stage. You'll need to make sure that the commercial unit is actually independent from upstairs. So you may well need to build a wall to separate it from the hallway that leads the new tenants to the properties upstairs. You may well need to bring in its own independent electric supply and water supply if it hasn't got that at the moment. And it's normally good practice to put in some very basic lighting, but only enough lighting to allow you to market the property. And a lot of people would put in a toilet and a wash hand basin and create a little toilet area. But you don't need to do much more than that. Or actually, one thing you will need to do is ensure that you've got fire separation and sound separation from the flats above. You perhaps don't need to do any more than that. You may choose to take rotten and poor quality plaster off the walls. You may choose to do some basic floor repairs and little things like that. But don't feel that you need to do any more. You don't even need to replaster walls where you've taken the plaster off. You don't need to lay anything on the floor. As long as the floor's sound and no one's going to fall through it, you won't need to do anything more than that. When your prospective tenant comes along to take this unit from you, you can then negotiate with them whether you're going to do some work to allow them to take it, or whether they're going to pay for that work themselves, and that all becomes part of your negotiation. Importantly, the fact that you haven't got plaster on the wall may not be a problem for some tenants. Some tenants are going to put shelving and racking up that covers up the wall, and so they don't need any plaster on the wall. Some tenants are going to say, actually, I like that rustic effect of bare brickwork. That works well with my business. I don't need anything on the wall. Other tenants will require it to be finished off. So don't spend your money doing work that isn't actually necessary later on until you know exactly who your tenant is that's coming into the property. Just make it watertight, make it secure, give it the basic services, ensure that it's able to be viewed, and let your tenants discuss anything else beyond there. All in all, the cost of that might only be a few £1,000s. So have a few £1,000s in your budget rather than tens of £20,000 of elaborate fitting out work that may not be required in the grand scheme. I really hope this video has helped you save some money. Hopefully you've realised that you don't need to spend too much money on your commercial units, and hopefully as a result you find some more viable opportunities out there. My name's Martin Rapley. I really would encourage you to subscribe to this channel. I release videos on a regular basis, and I look forward to catching up with you on another one very soon.